Welcome, my guys. We're back. We're back. It's a safe space show. It's been a while. It's been a while. Well, we've got a shot at 5 p.m. Couple minutes. Um, he's just in a show himself. So just gonna wait for him. But I'm here. If anyone wants got anything to say, wants to say anything, share it. You know what it is. This is a safe space show. For people that haven't known, my name is Ryan Anthony Woodhouse. Okay, I've got a page called Ryan Anthony Woodhouse where I share more awareness. But this is the safe space show where we do shows, communicate, talk, have conversations on different topics. This topic today is going to be about Jamaica, Jamaicans, Jamaicans in the UK, Jamaicans in Jamaica, what people class as a yardie, what a Rasta is, what a Rastafarian goes by, and if the Caribbeans are like Jamaicans or if Caribbeans are like Africans, because people see the black skin and they all assume that there's the same type of upbringing. So, so yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, you guys look out for the merch. We got Woolly per merch coming out. Woolly per merch out and coming out. So yeah, tap in there. Here he is, the odd podcast. Here we go. Yes,
You don't know what's going on, yes, sir. Yeah. It says admin. Sometimes it takes a while. It pulls it. Sometimes let's try again. There we
Right.
go.
Done at my boss.
Yeah, bro,
Here
you
is not
good?
looking up there. Ah,
You good?
yeah, man, all gone.
You're there, man. Yeah. Can you see me, yeah? Can you see me all right, yeah?
Yeah, man, can see and hear. You can hear me good?
Yeah, man, I can hear you, man. First time you use these headphones as well, but man, I can hear you, man. Thank you for coming on the show, brother.
No worries, man. Let me turn up your volume a bit.
Turn up my volume.
Mm. No, I just had to turn up my phone because I'm not using my headphones. Oh, where the fuck are
Oh,
they?
okay. Yeah, man, like I said, this is a rough and ready one as well, especially because, you know, I feel it proper, man. Like I said, I see where you're going, man. I'm gonna ask you where you are. Where you say Spain? That was crazy, man. So,
Mm.
first of all, thank you for coming on this little show and podcast. Not even little, this movement I'm on, because it's going well, you get me?
Yeah, man. And it's that we have much respect for the invite and the reach out and the support, everything. We definitely appreciate it. No, I want to we today, but um, the support, we love it, and we know how it feels for you to grow as well, because we still are grow. We're still, I would say, we're still in the infancy stage as well.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not an easy journey, but we enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's me.
yeah, man. Yeah, man, I hear that, and it's nice to hear that from you, and to see it, you get me, because she would say, the people that are around you, they don't always support you, you get me, and help you and push. Not say that you want it from them, because you have to seek validation from yourself. And that's the thing I've been learning with myself, you get me. Once I feel good and great about what I'm doing, and no matter what people say, push the message, you get what I'm saying?
Mm. For me, when it comes to the people around me, I don't really make content for the people around me. I make content
Mm,
that I would want to see and I would want to consume as the primary
okay.
thing. If the people around me enjoy it, they enjoy it. But the thing is,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
content I put out, it's basically what they
yeah.
experience on a day to day with me. The same shit I talk about there is the same thing I talk about with them in private as well. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of tough when you see people around you don't really share your content or repost your content or push you the way you see them send you a content from somebody else or a different podcast, or it kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
disheartening in a way. But at the end of the day, we have to realize, like, if I was making content just for family and friends, then what would be the point?
No, I hear that, I hear you. So, and this is, okay, so it's a bit different for me because you see, like with me, yeah, I was a footballer, like soccer, as everyone called it, or Jamaican man, it's a football, you get me.
Mm,
Um, for Nottingham Forest, and I used to do taekwondo, fighting, and then things there, and then I went into bodybuilding, and I was doing a lot, you get me, and I was before social media, you get me, before social media, and I feel like I had a stutter and I got a speech impediment. You get me? And I used to get took on as a pick me. You get me by the family, and I used to just keep hush hush. Cause you know how Jamaican family stuff. So
yeah.
obviously, when it comes to doing that part, when before social media, talking on the camera, I didn't want to do it. I was just doing the gym work. You get me? And just lifting and looking sick, but people didn't want to see it. So with me doing psychology and then things there, it comes to the point where I'm business management. I seen the business for what it is and knowing that sometimes for me, sometimes the people, what they do, yeah, people don't want to see. They want to see something that touches emotion on them. Do you get me?
Yeah, I
So
get what you're
that's
saying.
yeah. So that's how the avenue that I went on because they didn't want to. It's like they didn't want to see me or see me succeed. Maybe I'm too good for them, or it hurt their feelings. But you see, when I touch on their feelings through my experiences or others, it brings them back, and it's like, oh, he's actually this. Well, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I
Mm.
went through. Um, yeah, man. But like I said, thank you for coming on here because the main thing. that I've been really wanting to do is speak to someone in yard, someone that's potentially in yard and moved out of yard and living and doing something, which is, I believe, this is what you're doing. So, so like, just big up yourself firstly, and then just tell the people then like what it is you do in it and where they can catch you first. You get me?
Yeah. So the podcast for me is like a side thing right now, but hopefully in the
Oh
future
yeah,
it will evolve into something more substantial. We are coming up to our 2 year anniversary of the Yardman podcast, available on all platforms. We are a Jamaican cultural podcast, I will say. We share Jamaican
yeah,
content, culture, and content about Jamaica on our podcast. And we use the or Jamaican perspective and experiences to
mm,
basically evaluate social issues around the world from our lens. For
mm,
example,
yeah,
you say you grew up in a Jamaican family where you were teased as a kid just for a speech impediment. That is normal
yeah,
in
yeah.
Jamaica.
You
That is
know,
Jamaica. To this day, I'm surprised. Like even if you grow out of the speech impediment, they'll probably still have a nickname for you. They'll probably still call you Stammer. They used to
yeah,
call it Stammer,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Stammer,
yeah,
Stammer Zone, Stammer Gram, you know. So
yeah. Mm.
all of these perspective which you use to analyze things and just share our perspective. Everybody have an opinion in their real, so why not share ours, you know?
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. And that's the main thing because I believe I don't know if you know how the Jamaicans are in the UK or the Jamaicans born in the UK. You get what I'm saying? But
Mm.
they don't have no culture. You get me? They don't know the culture. You see, like, if I was to make a switch in and out, and if I speak to my people, then they can speak to themselves. But they don't really do that. If they do that, they say, "Yo, you're English," when like you're not. You're Jamaican. Do you get what I mean?
Mm. But that comes down to an identity thing and a lack of knowledge because it's hard to embrace a culture that you don't know a lot about. You might know about the few
Mm,
food and the music, but there's more to being Jamaican than having a Jamaican parent
for
and being
sure.
born in that country. Because I'm guessing
Yeah,
there are other, especially with the protests going on in your country now. I saw some black people coming in and say, "Hey, I am British first, and then anything else second," and they want to get rid of like immigrants and stuff. And I see that, and I'm like,
yeah,
how can you feel that way when this is a part, Africa is a part of your heritage, Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica, these are all parts of your heritage, but you're willing to throw that aside just to say that you are British because you view that on a higher pedestal, whereas
mm,
Jamaicans would be like, nah, we'll never give away our identity as Jamaicans. And if I was to have a kid, I live in Spain now. Let's say I have a child in Spain, the
yeah,
idea of my child growing up and telling me that he doesn't feel Jamaican or she doesn't feel Jamaican, she's Spanish or anything like that, I would feel like a failure as a parent because I
for
want
sure.
them
Yeah, for
to
sure.
embrace the culture, my
Yeah,
culture, their roots
yeah,
as well. And I also want them to embrace the culture of the country that they're in. I'm not saying that I want my kids to not have the Spanish culture
uh,
or in England to have the UK culture as well, but they should have a combination of it.
yeah. All right. You see the UK. I don't. I believe that they that got a culture at all. Yeah, Spain. They've got to look. They've got their own thing going on, and you get what I'm saying. And like you see, still Spain. But then I believe, like, is there not racism over there still, or not?
Yeah, man,
Or is
racism,
that just
bro, racism is in every
it's
country.
everywhere?
For
Yeah, I'm
example,
minister.
if I had a kid here and the child is black, they would not consider
Yeah.
that child Spanish first. They would consider that child African.
The truth. Yeah. So this is my point. What I'm trying to say, like, it makes sense. So within me doing mental health and trying to talk to these people, yeah, how would you try embed or try wise with your kids to say that this is what's gonna happen? Yeah, but you Jamaican first, not Spanish first. But they're still trying to say that they're Spanish first.
That's a tough thing. As I say, I think it comes down to education and how
Yeah.
critical of a thinker your child becomes in the future. Because
Mm.
the thing is, it takes time for people to wake up to their reality. And I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
for example, my child, let's say I'm in Spain, right? For the people that are listening, I'm in
Yeah.
Spain. I have a child in Spain. That child is going to be socialized in the Spanish system.
Mm.
They're not going to have other Jamaicans around them other than me to
Yeah.
share that culture. And what does a child want to do anything more than anything else in school? They want to fit in, they want to have friends,
Mm.
they want to feel like they belong. And they're
Mm.
gonna try and flock to the majority, right? Because I see
Yeah.
this. I used to work with students in academies and stuff. Like, for example, there would be a lot of Moroccans in school, and
yeah,
they would be a little bit ashamed of their Moroccan heritage because in the schools they are pushed towards the Spanish. Like they don't want to be teased, they don't want to be bullied, they don't want to be called the Moroccan kid in class. They want to be called. They want to
yeah,
fit in. They want to fit in.
yeah,
So then it's on the parent to say, hey, let me share my culture with you and educate you on it and give you all the tools that you
mm,
need so that you can know going forward. And I don't expect my child to be like, oh, 12 years old, I am Jamaican before anything. No, it's more when they're adults, like
yeah,
what values do they have instilled in them when they can
mm.
critically think about the world?
Yeah, now I hear that because with me and Brother my Pitney is Jamaican. Let me tell you, what Jamaica everywhere, music, everything. Like, yo, first Jamaican, that is it. I don't see him have long hair. And you get the girl to get called a girl because you're pretty and they're
Mm,
not pretty. Yeah, so I hear you. Well, me obviously doing psychology, I have the dynamic where it's obviously it's colours and science. Like I said, Jamaica's got lucky that they've got the same colours we leave them to endorphins and different types of emotions, so like green, yellow, and black. There's different types of emotions. You put them things around and note that to be Jamaican colored, they tend to understand. You get what I'm saying? Because my
mm-hmm.
son, you see a British flag and you still call it Jamaican, and I said, no, but are they the same colors? And then that's when he's like, all right,
uh,
yeah, man, cool. So, yeah, man. So obviously, so like, cool. So in Jamaica now, yeah. Oh, as in Jamaicans, and how old are you, brother?
Me, I'm 32.
Okay, yeah, you're my age, yeah. So, do you think in a couple of years that Jamaica can come to a point where people are understanding of the youth mental health and trying to rising them up? Because I believe that our parents were the generation where it was, you can't turn it and push them off. If them says something, them says something. You get what I'm trying to say? Where it's a hush hush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
my parents,
I wouldn't say in a couple of years. I would say it would take time. We Jamaicans are stubborn and built
for
into
sure.
some patterns of generational trauma. But
Yeah,
things are changing. People are realizing and waking up to the fact that mental health is an issue in Jamaica. Gone are the days where someone will be just like, you're mad, leave you on the roadside and or throw
yeah,
you go to Bellevue. No, there's a bigger spotlight on it, especially with social media and the access that they have to more information now about
yeah,
mental health, where there is still a stigma, but
yeah,
people are more understanding of it because now they see it in movies, how people react to people that have mental health issues in movies.
yeah,
They see it on TikTok, they see it on Instagram, all these platforms that they can educate themselves on. Before, it was just a lack of knowledge about mental health, and if you don't, sometimes when you don't
mm,
understand something, all you simply do is stigmatize it. But once they grow to
yeah,
understand mental health and how getting mental health treatment can actually improve the lives of people around them as well, I think
yeah,
we're golden. But this is on now the Ministry of Health to make it a point, a duty to talk about mental health, to not to destigmatize it by sharing more information with the public
mm,
about mental health. Because personally, for me, sometimes I talk with my friends here, and the things that that I think are totally normal, they're like, bro, that was mental abuse, that was verbal abuse, that was physical
yeah,
abuse.
yeah.
Where in Jamaica we just see that as a normal day.
Mm, yeah, yeah, and that's what I want to get to because it's obviously impacted the community and the generation in a way. Because if our generation, we're still kind of tough, you get me, but not tough as they would say we are. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
Mm,
I believe that them feeling that way or giving that stubbornness to it helps raise some hard-boiled kids. Because now the youth are they reckless. You can't even look down your picnic in the UK. You can't tell them about this or anything. You can't even shout when you picnic. You get in the car. They've been a social service. They don't want to investigate your family and check where you picnic. So I think that something in it helped, but it was just they actually weren't aware. Like stubbornness can be a
mm.
golden to the
I,
situation.
I
I believe.
I get what you're saying, and I'm off with some, like, when I think of my upbringing, I'm not mad at my parents for how they raised me or how they treated me or anything, because I feel like it has built resilience and character in me. But
Yeah.
there are other ways that they could have gone about that.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
there are different ways that I'm going to be about it. The thing is, with every generation, we should be improving. So now you
Yeah.
should be a better parent than your parents, and then your son
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be a better parent than you were.
Oh,
And if we
for sure.
continue like that, then The world would be a much better place if the
Yeah,
parenting keeps
yeah,
improving.
yeah. And I believe that because I did put a post up the other day saying, you know, if you're an 80s or 90s baby and you had trauma from your parents, don't blame them because they didn't have the resources to change or want to change. They were like I said, in the UK, yeah, the windrush scheme, everyone come over upon the windrush scheme, and the parents were just letting them live just to
Mm.
survive, which I understand. Yeah, because I don't feel like Jamaicans in the foreign ever have the aspect to go back. They never think to
Mm.
go back. And what do you think to that? Would you so okay now you're saying yeah, you're not in Jamaica now. So are you happy in Spain or would you go back?
Oh, it's a mixture. I'm happy, bro. Like I'm happy.
Yeah,
But the thing is, for me, happiness is not a constant. Happiness is a sliding scale. Like it changes from day to day. What makes me happy? I can't say, hey,
yeah,
if I have 100K or $1 million, then I'll be happy. I know that my level of happiness and my demand for happiness will constantly change. So I realize that.
yeah,
And just to backtrack on the parenting thing about how not to pass down their trauma, I think to become like a man or a
yeah,
woman or become an adult and to have like some mental clarity, the first people that you should forgive in your life is your parents because they
yeah,
made you who you are and you have to reconcile with that. Then again,
yeah,
you can't live in that moment, live in that trauma for the rest of your life. You know, I
yeah,
read this book where it says that I don't you're a psychologist, Carl Jung. Um
yeah,
what's the book called again? I just gave it to my friend. It's the book where basically this student is talking with his psychology professor about all the traumas in his life and he's blaming his parents for all for example not wanting to leave his room. He's blaming his parent for making him an introvert, and the professor was
yeah,
saying, hey, don't blame your parents because that means you're still living in that past. You're not living
yeah.
in the moment. And in
Yeah,
life, you
yeah,
have to be living in the moment. And when you think
yeah,
about all the things that your parents have done with you, every time you're regressing, you're going back into that past and not enjoying the moment and not moving on with your life. You know?
yeah, 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 100%, 100%. So the upbringing in Jamaica as a child, yeah, like on a scale, like what would you say it is like for, from three till you go to school, your first school, like is it hard? Is it typically, did it,
Another thing subjective. I can only speak about my experience and the people around me. For me, it
yeah,
was hard, bro. I grew up in a rural community. I would say I was poor. But the only thing that I had going for me, I was smart, and I had parents
yeah,
that loved me, and I had parents
yeah,
that wanted the best for me. I had a
yeah,
dad that was always present in my life. I had a dad that would
yeah,
always ensure that I have food to eat, I get to school, or anything like that. I had that support system that basically
yeah,
facilitated my journey to be a smoother transition. But I know I had friends that didn't have the same thing, and they had a
yeah,
struggle. They had a different life. So I wouldn't say
yeah,
upbringing in Jamaica is easy because we don't have the same level of governmental support that many countries like the UK
mm,
would have or would try to have you know
yeah,
and then there is so many avenues that you can go down for the wrong path as well. Like the temptation there is so easily we're so easily influenced. Like we have a high culture and praise towards violence because a lot of the things that we grew up seeing, we become desensitized to them. For example, a lot of people have never seen someone stabbed or seen a gun, or maybe I shouldn't use those
yeah,
words,
yeah,
seen any
yeah,
kind of violence in their entire life. Whereas
yeah,
for us, we've seen something like that already. And the fact that we've
yeah,
seen that as a kid has basically robbed us a little bit of our childhood and made us more desensitized to that kind of stuff. Like we don't see that as being the abnormal. But when I speak to, let's say, my friends that grew up in Spain, that grew up in Germany, that grew up
yeah,
in the UK, in certain areas, they're
yeah,
like, bro, that was not normal. I told them, hey,
yeah,
when I was a kid, like my teachers would line me up and put me in a line and ask me my timetables, and if I didn't get it right, they would freaking be beating me. They're like, "Whoa, that is
yeah,
abuse." They would be arrested here for that. I'm like, "What?"
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
got medals
yeah,
for that
yeah.
shit.
But don't get it twisted though. And in the days that our parents' days in England, they were doing that. They used to get the a ruler and that and put the knuckles there and lift the knuckles with the ruler and that. or
Yeah, but
Kane, like you call it Kane.
yeah, but just as you were saying, it will Jamaica be at that point. And I'm saying that we're just a little bit
Yeah,
behind, but we're getting
yeah,
there. Like I have the utmost faith in my country and the people that we will get to a point where our systems are at the level that they should be. But it will
yeah,
take time, it will take investment, it will take content like this being put out there
yeah.
that
Cool.
actually motivates people to go in the right way because there's so much negative content out there. For example,
Yeah,
Jamaican music,
100%.
Jamaican music, it has, I would say, 80% negative content that harms the culture versus
Yeah,
the positive messages that actually builds the culture. And a
yeah.
lot of
So
people don't
that's
want to
what.
say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because no, I watch your content, and that's what I was gonna. I want to speak on. So, because I was watching you and the two others. And so what? So what was he saying about the Jamaican culture? Because I didn't get to watch it all. I'm going to watch it all. So like, how was he? Was he
Which
saying
one?
like the one with the glasses? And he said you got the one who's gonna get 25,000 views soon. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
and
So that guy was Lloyd. That's the reason he's talking about music as a business. He's not talking about music as it relates to the
okay,
social impact of
okay,
music on the country. That video, he's sharing his insider information of the music industry and what artists should be doing and stuff. But he wasn't speaking per se about the content of the music
yeah,
per se.
yeah.
And how it affects the
Well,
culture as a whole.
Well, do you think he's slipping? Because, like, listen, if I break it down to listen, and I like Skeng, you get me, Skeng, when oh, before we turn fully Christian and that, you're them thing there, I was the rinse, you get what I'm trying to say? But, like,
Mm.
you see, like, with Skeng now, and all of this, like, the Molly business, and then popping this and popping that, because Jamaicans never, in the UK, we never used to see that. Like, that it was a Jamaican thing, it was like a British thing. You get me? Like, the drugs, that drugs type of life, and popping them and being so outspoken about it. So what is Jamaica going down that route still, where like they're now they're being a bit more
That
open
that
with their
all
drink?
right. It also comes down to the content that people are consuming. Like with the advent of
Yeah,
social media, I know everyone says social media, but the thing is, a lot of Jamaicans are losing what makes them Jamaican by consuming
yeah,
non-Jamaican content to an extreme. Jamaica is not a pill popping country. We don't
yeah,
believe in that. We're not a snort company. We don't deal with the white lady country. But now that is
yeah,
becoming more popular. Like we're losing a lot of what made us Jamaica because of the music and stuff. And if the artists are singing about it in the songs, the kids are more likely to go out there and do it. Like it has become a
yeah,
culture. Like
yeah,
I haven't been in Jamaica a while, but my friends that go to parties there, they're like, bro, this is the order of the day now. Like what they sing in the songs, that's what be happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that kind of content, it is horrible content, bro. Like I don't consume that content. I don't want my kids to consume that content as much as they be like, music don't make people violent, but music does influence you. Words sound power. Listen to the
Yeah,
Rastas,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Words
yeah.
sound power.
Yes,
Words are
yeah.
powerful. Words are
And that's what.
spells. Listening to that
Mm-hmm.
shit every day, that opens up your mind. Like
Yeah,
if there was a gateway drug to take drugs, it is music. Music
yeah.
is that drug.
Well, it is. It's music is drugs and frequency is the word. Like, do you get me? Like frequency, the high producers they use set beats of frequency. We have beats per minute for certain music for to get your body moving in a set way. Frequency makes the body do things that it shouldn't do, and then it triggers cognitive in the brain, which you don't know they can't control. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
So, uh,
then my thing against the music as well is the artists don't take responsibility because
yeah,
they just see this as their money making avenue. They have no social responsibility for the kind of music they put out. They don't care how the
yeah,
music is harming the culture. They don't give a shit about any of that. All they want to do is make a profit and say that they're a big artist and that they're not going to be making positive music. And the worst thing is this music won't even last long. Like this music is trendy.
yeah,
A song will drop, it's trendy for a month or two, and then it dies. Then you still go listen
yeah,
to Bob
yeah.
Marley One Love. Like that's what people are
It's
listening, and they don't realize that.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was about to say, and the thing is, it's crazy because we always mention Bob Marley, even though he is the greatest. But alongside him and them type of songs, like you see your berries and you know, and all these people, you get me? They
Bro,
are,
Bob Marley has been dead longer than I've been alive, and Bob Marley is still the number one Jamaican artist. Like
yeah,
he's still his album is still atop the Billboard. Like people can't even kick
and
his
that,
album off the Billboard charts, off the
and
iTunes
yeah,
store.
of course, and that's where it goes to when I say to you, psychology and where my avenue or my direction gone to people and touching people's emotions. Because that's exactly what he did. He made music not for himself, but to touch people and to get a connection with someone. Do you get me? If
Mm-hmm.
someone hears one love, there's different parts of love that each individual taken from that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a special what he does. Even any awareness or conscious rapper. Do you get what I'm saying? I believe that it needs to go far. Go back to the reggae in Jamaica. Is it like Bob Marley's time? Is it any time gonna come back, or is it just, or is it still there? We just don't hear it.
That's something that our podcast has been investigating and talking to a lot of people in the industry. And the truth of the
Okay.
matter is, it what I found and my perspective on it is music will always be evolving and always be changing. Genres will evolve and
Yeah.
they will change. And reggae is changing and reggae is trying to adapt, but it's just not as big. There's so many options for people to consume content right now and consume music
Yeah.
that it's hard for
Yeah.
any one genre to really push the boundaries,
Yeah.
to really make a difference.
Yeah.
Like for reggae to actually get back to where it was, it needs
Yeah.
some constant hits. Like it needs some hit songs, and people are too cheap nowadays to invest in reggae. Reggae is more
Mm.
expensive to produce. Well, I don't want to say that because I'm not a musical person in the industry, but if reggae songs, normally you need a live band, live instruments to produce and to
Yeah. Yeah.
perform them.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
a guy can go a guy can go on YouTube, download a beat, put a song on it, and release that song, or you can just buy a cheap beat online somewhere, use his phone, record a song, and put that out there, put that on TikTok, goes viral, it blows up. It's
Mm.
not that easy for reggae.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that easy
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah. The whole music industry gone to it's gone to the ground. You get me?
yeah,
And
because
that's
now people want fast content, fast music, fast everything. Like back in the day,
yeah.
you how many songs are you gonna get released each day? Back in the day, you'd have to wait like a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Artist drops
For
what,
sure.
2 or 3 songs a year. Now artists
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah.
dropping 1 or 2 songs. Sometimes some artists drop a song a week.
Yeah.
A song
Okay.
artists drop 12 songs a year
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For
because
sure.
we consume the content so fast, bro. So
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, it's the addictive it's the attention span. Obviously they've made it for 30 seconds and now they brought it they're making not no the people that are higher than most people are trying to make people go down to a 3 second attention span. Now it makes sense